The Battle of Stalingrad, August 23rd, 1942, February 5th, 1943, was hell on earth, frozen, burned, bombed, and soaked in the blood of over 2 million souls. If war is a test of will, this was its final exam. Hitler threw his best divisions at the Soviet Union, convinced he could break them in one brutal strike by taking the city that bore Stalin's name. What he didn't count on was that the Soviets wouldn't just resist, they would drag his armies into the abyss and make sure they never crawled back out. The German Sixth Army, led by General Friedrich Paulus, was elite, hardened on the blitzkrieg roads of Europe. But they weren't ready for what Stalingrad had in store. Stalin issued order number 227, not one step back. Retreat was treason. Cowardice was death. The Red Army held ground not with superiority, but with sheer resolve. They fought in bombed-out buildings, sewer tunnels, and factory floors, hand to hand, bayonet to bayonet, brick by brick. A sniper war raged from every rooftop. The Volga River ran red. But this wasn't just defense. It was a trap. Soviet General Georgy Zhukov didn't just wait for the Nazis to bleed out. He planned Operation Uranus, a pincer movement to encircle the German forces. While Hitler was obsessed with symbolic victory, the Soviets were executing cold-blooded strategy. In November 1942, the Red Army struck from the north and south, crushing through the weaker Romanian and Hungarian units on the flanks. In just days, over 250,000 Axis troops were surrounded in a freezing urban graveyard. Paulus begged for permission to break out. Hitler refused. He demanded his troops hold Stalingrad at all costs. Supplies were promised by air, but they never came. The Luftwaffe couldn't match Soviet anti-air fire, and the weather was merciless. Starvation set in, frostbite, cannibalism. The best of the Wehrmacht, the tip of the Nazi spear, was left to rot in snow and silence. Zhukov tightened the noose. The Soviets attacked relentlessly. On January 31st, 1943, Paulus surrendered what remained of the southern pocket. Hitler had promoted him to field marshal the day before, expecting him to die rather than be captured. No German field marshal had ever been taken alive. But Paulus didn't follow Hitler's fantasy. He chose survival and silence. The last of the northern holdouts surrendered on February 2nd. The Battle of Stalingrad was over. What the world saw afterward wasn't just a military defeat. It was the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. Stalingrad shattered the myth of German invincibility. It flipped the momentum of the entire war. The Eastern Front would now grind westward, all the way to Berlin. Hitler would never fully recover. Stalin, brutal and cunning, had proven his war machine could bend but not break. The cost? Almost 2 million casualties. Entire cities flattened, generations extinguished. But out of that inferno, a truth emerged. No amount of tactical brilliance or propaganda can outlast unbreakable will. The Soviets didn't win because they were better. They won because they refused to die. Stalingrad wasn't just a battle. It was an endurance trial for the soul of a nation. And it proved that sometimes the greatest strength is simply this: you do not quit, even when death surrounds you, when your leaders betray you, when the cold bites through your bones. You hold, you fight, you survive, and you win. Order the Spartan Mindset today and embark on your journey toward becoming the leader your world needs. Let your struggles forge you into a warrior of character and resolve. The Spartan Mindset provides a comprehensive and actionable guide to personal development and resilience. Available now for just $19.99. Purchase your copy from the links in the description box below and on this channel's homepage, because your future begins with the right mindset. The Spartan Mindset.